Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the TV is Our Real Mom podcast. I am your host, Catie, and the reason you're hearing me first is because poor Dave is nursing quite a cold, but he's still hanging in there, and he's going to talk Survivor with us. How you doing, Dave?
I'm very sick, but no excuses. I'm here to talk about the season premiere of Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, and I'm ready to go. My voice is a little messed up, and I apologize, but I'm still ready to talk. So
That's good. I mean, a Survivor premiere only happens but twice a year, so you've got to suck it up and just do what you can.
exactly, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
No matter what, I'm ready to go.
So what did you think of the premiere? It was a short one.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a little underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed? Shut your mouth.
I don't know if it was just like the way the vote went. It was like such a predictable first boot, and then the way the idol like didn't get really amount to anything. I will say that I like the way I like Chrissy's decision, but
Yeah.
I don't like that it amounted to nothing, and it wasn't like a super awesome episode, but like I'm excited about the rest of the season. The rest of the season looks promising.
You know, as much as they tried to set Alan up as a potential first boot, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, that's not a person that gets voted out first. It just never happens. You go for the safe vote on your first vote. And even if Alan's causing a ruckus, there's no way it's going to happen. So I kind of figured he wasn't going to go home. But I agree. In the moment, I was a little shocked as to why Chrissy did not play the idol for Katrina. But at the same time, they were grouped together strictly because of gender. I don't know if they were actually friends or not, and if they actually had an alliance or a bond, like they just lumped them together. And did that mean Chrissy would have, caused such a ruckus just to save someone who probably, I don't know how much that would help her down the line.
Yeah, I mean, that's right away. I never questioned that Chrissy's move wasn't the right move.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that the way I was seeing things was that, yeah, exactly what you said. Those two were they were lumped together by the other people. I don't know that Chrissy felt any sort of allegiance to Katrina, and even if she did, I think it's the wrong decision to do anything to draw attention to yourself early on, just at her, just to help. It wouldn't end up being a good thing in the long run, I don't think.
No, if you're talking maybe she could have saved someone like a Ben, then maybe it'd be a different story. But I don't know that saving Katrina gets you any kind of traction. And there's apparently stuff we didn't see, like Katrina was playing really hard right away, and that rubbed some people the wrong way. Like the whole Alan, JP, Ashley nonsense, I think started the night of day 2. So like a lot of stuff had already taken place, and that was just some crazy episode that they had to give the center storyline because it was so crazy.
Right. And yeah, I just don't think it's good for Chrissy to call attention to herself. It's just yeah, it's just stupid.
Now,
yeah, so let's talk about that Alan thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about that.
Boy, he's a bit crazy, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, his eyes, man, like those bugging eyes, dude, like just popping out of his head, like just makes him look crazy.
Can I ask you a question? Something that really confused me about his whole freak out. It started out, I thought he was being upfront with us that he made this up. But by the end of the episode, it's almost as if he believes it's true. But I thought he was pretty straightforward in saying, I made up the idol thing to put a target on them. So why does it seem like he believes it by the end of the episode?
That's why I don't really I'm not super worried about Alan in the sense of like, oh, he's so crazy, he's the obvious next boot. I'm not super worried about him because I actually do think there was some like strategy to what he did, because even in pregame interviews, he talked about like one of the main things, like one of his goals out there was to like frame somebody. That's so true. Like He literally said that going into the game. So I mean, you got to look at this guy. He's a NFL football player. He's
Mm-hmm.
coming into a game like Survivor. It's like a way smaller scale thing. He has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to lose. He doesn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to have some fun, be crazy, be a crazy character, shake things up. I think there is something to what you're saying, though. It's almost like he started to believe his own lies,
It
but
felt like it.
but
Or
at
he
the
was just
same
that
time,
committed to the lie. He was that committed.
yeah, that could be. I just don't know like what to think of it, but I think there is an element of this was all intentional. And
Mm-hmm.
I also agree with Alan. Like he's not lying. Like I don't know if you could go as far to call JP and Ashley a power couple, but they
Mm-hmm.
certainly have a strong alliance going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you do want to break that stuff up sooner rather than later. They're to me, they're the strongest pair in the game. It looks like Chrissy and Ben might tighten things up, next week,
Yeah.
but they're the strongest pair, not in the game, but strongest pair on that tribe. So he's onto something. Like whether or not he really believes they had an idol, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, I was just gonna say maybe he doesn't want a Malcolm and Denise situation, and if those two are the strong pair on a disaster tribe, they're gonna pick everybody else off. But what he didn't help matters for other people on the tribe, except maybe making everybody else look a little bit saner and better than him. But
Yeah.
but I was really impressed with Ben. I loved Ben. Ben was great.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. But I just want to say that I do agree with Alan. I think they do need to break those two up. Like they're not like
Also,
a
they're
showman.
boring. Like, get them out of here.
Yeah, get rid of one of them, please.
And I was listening and reading post game or post episode interviews, and Jeff Probst said he tried to get JP. He asked him like tons of questions to get him to defend himself, and he just wouldn't. He would just speaks in generalities, and that's what something I think that Wiggler was frustrated with in talking to him too. Like, are you just like a robot made up of like generic like sayings? Do you have your own identity, or is it waiting to be uncovered? You just don't know who you are yet. But like he said that this is the guy who took his clothes off to prove he didn't have an idol, and yet he would not stick up for himself against Alan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I said about JP in our pregame assessment. Like, this is exactly what I saw him, like how I saw him. He speaks in generalities, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
He's just there's nothing there. Like he ends every sentence. He ends every sentence with things like that.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh,
like he says, like doing things and things like that.
That's just the way it is, and we'll see, and things like that.
We'll see things like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I will say that I don't know that he really needed to defend himself. Alan was coming across so crazy. I feel like the rest of the tribe keeping their chill so much. Like they were all calm, cool, collected, and Alan's just flipping out. I mean, Alan's the only one that looks crazy in that moment. If JP doesn't, if JP buys into it, starts defending himself, if he gets too heated about it, that's not a good look for him either. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it was intentional strategy, but it's probably the right move for JP to
that's
calm
true
about it. Yeah.
I have to say, I think the Heroes are my least favorite tribe. And I think I felt that coming in. However, if the Healers go on this ridiculous winning streak, I'm going to hate them real soon too. So I don't hate the Heroes. I don't hate anybody. But like the Healers are just so dominant that I don't know. We might have a little bit of a, cut some of them off situation.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like them all right now.
Yeah, I guess I agree. The Heroes tribe is my least favorite probably, and the Healers are cool and all, but I can see them like if they keep winning everything and they're all still there. Mm-hmm. The other two tribes get whittled down. It's just the Healers and a couple others. It's like, I don't know if I'll like them so much.
Right. I love the
like
Hustlers.
A couple of them. Yeah,
I like the Hustlers a lot.
The Hustlers are dope. That's for sure. What do you mentioned Ben? What do you like about Ben?
He seems to be the rock of that tribe. He's really holding everything together. He's not playing like a crazy man. So on one end of the spectrum, you have insane Alan, and then on the other hand, you have like stoic, boring JP, and in the middle, you've got Ben, who has this personality, but also this calming presence. So it's kind of the best traits of both of those in Ben, and of course his own uniqueness as well. And I think he's the only one, maybe only man on the tribe who understands the game. It seems. I mean, not JP's not playing bad. He's made relations and is there, so
yeah, but
that's good.
He immediately, made an alliance with the person we knew he would make an alliance with. I mean,
yeah, we called that. Not that it was hard.
I think that's part of why I'm underwhelmed with the first episode, is because like so much of it is predictable, and like I actually don't, if you've listened to our podcast, I like being right, but it's also like you don't want to be right, you want to be surprised,
But so we heard so much preseason content right up to the butt of where this episode started. So of course we can predict those things, but going down the line, that's going to become further and further from our starting point. You know what I mean? So like, of course we can predict things now. We heard so much about these people, and we can predict who's going to connect with who. But down the line, that's all going to go out the window.
Yeah, I really hope so. I mean, I was thinking there was somebody like I was totally wrong about. Well, I think that was Alan. Like,
you weren't wrong about much.
Yeah, but I had a good feeling about Alan, and I think I was way off.
I think a lot of people did. Everybody was just like, whoa. And I was thinking maybe he's just hungry. His
eyes look like the eyes of a hungry man, honestly.
And also like a football game. Think about a football game and how quick. You know how they say a marathon, not a sprint? The football game is kind of like a sprint. It's so much adrenaline for this couple-hour thing that's filled with emotions up and down, and then it's over. But Survivor's not like that. So this isn't the kind of way he's used to approaching competition. So maybe he'll get his feet under him, and now that he's got this craziness out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be the kind of player Alan is. I mean, maybe, this type of crazy play, will benefit him if he manages to hang in long enough to just be taking people out insanely, kind of like a Tony, but I don't know. Eventually that catches up with you. I can't see it working out that way, but maybe. You never know.
You never know. I'm not really sure how this season's going to go, but
no one is.
Yeah.
So, let's move on to something else. How about
do you want to talk about that idol?
Yeah, let's talk about the idol.
Okay, so did you like it or not? First of all, I love that Ryan found it, so there's that. If it would have been found by somebody else, I might have been a little bit underwhelmed by it, but I was thrilled that he was the one that found it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I like the idea of it. I heard there's a lot of criticism that they should just like let them play. I can see that side of it. I can see something so powerful, like if this does get played in such a way where Chrissy sends home, like, I don't know, what if like Ben gets sent home by Chrissy, like because she wanted to take out a big threat early on. Like,
what if? I don't think she ever would have gotten rid of him because she sees potential alliance member in him.
Right, but I'm just using it as an example of how this could, might be a
potential Malcolm situation.
Yeah, like something with so much power can sort of taint the game a little bit, so I can see that side of it. But honestly, I liked the idea of it. I liked the idea that this is something you have to use right away, so we don't get these like legacy advantages.
Yeah, it's the opposite of a legacy advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So use it, right away instead of later in the game, so we get to see how that plays out. We get like more instant gratification, which is, as TV, the children, the spawn of television, that's what we want, is instant gratification. Yeah. So
I got into this whole decision on who to give it to. I don't know if you've heard this or not. Have you?
No.
Okay, so Devin and Ryan made the decision to give it to either Chrissy if the heroes lost or Rourke if the healers lost. And their goal in that was not just to save that person, but so that that person would have that even if they didn't have to use it, and they could leverage it as an actual idol for future use and get them on their side. So they were thinking like 3 steps ahead, because you get to retain the physical idol. You have an actual idol. It's just not playable anymore, but you don't have to tell people that. Like, it's something you can show people on your tribe to keep them from voting you out.
Right. Yeah, I did hear about that, how that's sort of how it works, is you get to keep it. It doesn't have power, but you still have it.
But to know that that's where Ryan and Devin's heads were at. Like, they wanted that to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure Devin's head was there, but
maybe not.
Ryan led him there.
They made the decision is all I got is all I've heard. But
yeah, I could definitely see, that playing out, because now that Chrissy survived this vote and, we got to see her speaking ability. And once again, I think she totally made the right decision by holding on to that idol and not doing anything with it. I have a lot of faith in her going farther into the game. And now that we've seen Ryan and Devin, pair up, I have a lot of faith in them as a duo. So we will probably get to see this, pay off in some way.
I hope so, because which will make up for
which will make up for what I was saying about being disappointed about how the idol was worked out. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a way for it to like still have power, even though its actual power is gone. And I don't know how long these formations of the tribe will last, so it could really get a person to a swap, probably.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how they use it, if they do. Yeah, what do you think about Ryan's decision to share this information with Devin?
I liked it. I think it was the perfect person for him to share that with, because Devin's so chill and so laid back. Who's he going to tell that to? He's thrilled that someone extended. I don't know if he gets thrilled about anything, but he's probably grateful that, he was let in on this and nobody else was. I think it was a smart partner for Ryan to choose, don't you?
Yeah, I really do.
They're yin and yang a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of why I said, like, in our pregame assessment, that I could see those two being like the last people standing on that tribe, because I thought they would just kind of complement each other really well. And you might not see them as an obvious pairing. Yeah, and you kind of get like a recollection of David Wright and Ken a little bit. Like, it's like
a little bit, yep.
Go to the guy who's like people might not expect, and he's gonna be different than you. He's also like a challenge threat. So like if you guys are aligned down the line, you have an ally who's maybe they're gonna want to take him out before you. That's kind of nice too.
And as much as I don't know very much about Devin, and he says he's willing to cut throats and stuff, I think Devin would be very, very loyal.
I think so. I think
that kindness in him.
Yeah, I got the sense that their agreement to be an alliance is pretty rock solid.
Yeah,
and therefore Ryan's play worked out great, because he earned himself a strong like ride or die on a tribe that could potentially, like, maybe they didn't mess up this week, but they could still fall apart, Yeah.
So. You know what I liked about Ryan is that before the game started, everybody was saying, oh, this is David Wright, this is Cochran. But this is a guy that, to my eyes, from what we saw, like, he was smooth as hell going into this game, and he played whatever was dealt to him in this first episode really well, almost perfectly, I'd say. And I didn't see any like self-doubt or like, none of that. I thought he was just really, really good and like kind of meant to play this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the twitchy eyes and the nervous energy. He's got the quiet. He seemed quiet in the group. There's a lot of shots of him sitting in the group and just kind of like, you could sort of sense that he was maybe outside a little bit. But I think you're right, though. I think he knows what to do enough that none of that stuff's gonna matter. He already got his ride or die. That's gonna help. Devin's gonna do all the social work for him at this point, I think. So I think Ryan's good to go, man.
Yeah. So one other hustler I think we should talk about who got some airtime was Allie. So what do you think of Allie?
Well, man, like, I'm really disappointed. Like, kind of like Steven said last night in Know It Alls, like, I'm totally with him. I'm like, really disappointed that they didn't share that they already know each other, because that does not bode well. It means they want, to me, that means they want to hide the fact that they know each other. And if they want to hide
Why
that,
is that?
it makes me worry that these two go far. And, you know, if they go far together, people, and, you know, and people knew that they already knew each other, people would be like, well, that's not fair, you know? So that makes me worry that those two are going to go far together. I could be wrong.
I got the impression that he doesn't remember her.
I mean, it's totally possible, but like,
and maybe that's why nothing was made of it.
Yeah, that's totally possible too. But that's my concern, is that they're hiding it for a reason, and that's because they don't want people to get pissed because they knew each other.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't realize that this has happened before. I mean, how is it possible that this has happened so many times that apparently Laura and Brett from Samoa knew each other, and Aaron and Joe from Tocantins knew each other, and those people were together and went far, and it is concerning. It's a concern.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, and I mean that is my concern, is I know like a lot of people don't like that. Maybe that's why they didn't share this on the show.
Game a little bit.
It does. It's an unfair advantage.
It is. So do you think that in the preview for next week, it shows that she's questioning her decision to team up with him? Because wouldn't you question your decision when there's guys like Ryan and Devin on the tribe, and you decided to go with this goofball weirdo who wants to eat bugs on day one?
Yeah, I probably would. And that's my hope.
Just because you've met before?
Yeah, that's my hope, is that that's a true edit, and that she is like getting, you know, freaked out about her decision, and like he does end up being the boot. I do like Patrick though. I mean, I don't want him to go. I just
I don't. I like
we're
him
like
too.
we're already invested in Ryan and
Devin.
We're already more invested in Ryan and Devin, so it's like.
Well, I think they really focus on those four: Patrick, Allie, Ryan, and Devin. And Simone was invisible, which I was fine with. And I think Lauren had like one line.
I do not remember seeing Lauren at all. So
she said something about critters, because I remember laughing at the way she said critters. She was talking. They were just building the shelter.
Oh. There's all kinds of critters out here.
Yeah, basically. But Simone did not speak. Purple Simone.
Yeah, and I mean basically Purple Lauren too. So you can't really feel too good about those two, right? Unless.
But that was kind of what we predicted.
Yeah. Well, yeah. True. Predictable once again.
Okay.
Yeah, so enough for the Hustlers. Enough about the Hustlers for now.
Yeah,
I guess.
So were you able to predict a little confrontation between Dr. Mike and Joe?
No, I really never saw that one coming, honestly.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I mean, he says like the reason he decides he needs to go looking for an idol is because his 10-year-old son said it was a good idea. It's like,
who takes advice from 10-year-olds?
I know, like, who said 10-year-olds have good advice? Like, most people would say, you're a 10-year-old, you don't know what you're talking about.
Know your place.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're a 10-year-old, I'm going to listen to you. What do you think? What does he mean by that? What do you think he means?
I think it means that he's a sap and he's listening to his kid instead of his head.
Yeah,
you should look for idols, but not when you're the little guy, the little, like, you know, nerdy guy who people already assume is out there looking for idols, and then you're proving them right by going and looking for idols. Like, chill out. You have other work to do. Like you said, perception is 90% reality, and they already think you're looking for idols even if you're not. So all you're doing is proving them right. Like, it's always a catch-22, because if you're that guy, you need the idol, but that's just going to get you into trouble, and they're already going to assume you have one.
Yeah, that's why maybe you just save the idol searching until, like, kind of like David Wright did, where he's like, his tribe lost immunity, they lost immunity, so he's feeling in trouble, so then he starts panicking, going looking, and then it's like they understand. But he was also kind of a target, though, I guess, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
and the only reason he was saved was because Chris and Brett kind of liked him. So
yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's a catch-22. It's tough.
When you're that guy, I mean, he looks like someone who's out there looking for idols. He could be the person who refuses to ever even set foot looking for one, and people are probably going to assume he is. So,
right, yeah, it might
I don't know how you amend that unless you never go do anything without someone with you.
Yeah, I think you just sit at camp and like talk to people and
always
like,
have a buddy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, what was up with the, do you think he had plans for the ropes in his pockets, or like what, did he just have ropes in his pockets? Like, yeah.
I didn't quite see what that was all about. I kind of, that confrontation made me uncomfortable, and I had already watched the clip online because someone had tweeted it out, and so I muted it during that part when it was on TV.
You muted it.
I do that when things make me uncomfortable. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I guess I wonder if Joe, or not Joe, Mike was wanting to make a fake idol or something, or if he actually did just like untie something and put the rope in his pocket. Because I do that all the time.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, that's what apparently what survivors do is any kind of souvenir or little knickknack they can keep, they take it and they use it, because you can make a fake idol. You shouldn't be making a fake idol on day 2. That's not the way to play the game.
Probably not, but you do have to collect parts as you find them. So I guess there's that.
I would assume that's all it was.
So yeah, what do you think about Joe? And like Rob and Steven seemed to, or at least one of them, Steven liked Joe's approach to the way he handled this. Do you feel the same? Or?
I think he kept his calm about it, but I don't like the fact that he wanted to let Mike know that he's on to him. But he is, like, that's what Mike was doing. And I think people are just really, really paranoid about idols right now because, they left as Game Changers was on. Everybody was finding one. Ty had found 2 and Troyzan had found 1. And so I think they're just paranoid that if they don't have it, someone else does. I think there's high paranoia for idols. But like, I think this is an example of him not being able to keep a lid on his mouth.
Yeah, so, I don't like this for Joe. No, I don't like this for Joe. Ultimately, I disagree with what Steven was saying. It's like, yeah, I don't know that he played it right. Like maybe he felt like he had to talk to him about it, but I just don't. The energy coming off of him was so like critical and like intense and accusatory, and it's like so early, and this stuff's already coming out. He basically left an impression on Mike where Mike wants Joe out first. Like, I don't know how much sway Mike's going to have. We don't really know yet. But if Mike has any sway, which we just don't know, he might have a sway. Yeah. Joe is the target, man. Because like, and if he can make Mike feel this way so fast, like, who's to say he's just not going to alienate everybody right away?
Yeah.
But then again, I guess people probably got similar vibes from someone like Tony, who was just like aggressive and tough.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He has that side, he has that level, but he looks like he's a blast at the same time, and you don't want to get rid of that person who keeps spirits high and keeps you laughing and that sort of thing. I don't know. We didn't get to see much else from Joe. Like, he just seems like he's someone who's gonna bring the fun around camp, and that's something Tony did when he wasn't being a crazy person, like in the early days, like on the Braun tribe or whatever.
That's true. I definitely don't think this means Joe, Joe's out. I don't think that, but yeah, I definitely think less of him after this episode.
Yeah, what I didn't like that he was doing it at all. I think what Steven was saying was that what he was doing, he handled well, but he shouldn't have been doing it at all. I don't think it's too early for this kind of nonsense. You're not even going to tribal, so just focus on the challenge. Once you lose the challenge and you're going to tribal, then you can do your shit, your paranoia shit. I don't care, but it wasn't a good look.
Yeah. I mean, Steven seemed to think it was like his attempt to like connect with Mike. Do you see that side of it? Like how he was like, oh, I'm showing you respect by saying I see your game. Now I want you to show me respect by saying like, oh yeah, I have been looking, but I haven't found anything. But that's the thing too. He's telling him the truth when he says he hasn't found anything. Yeah. And he like refuses to believe him. Like, so it's like, well, what can he do about that? Like, I can't help it if you don't believe me. Like, I don't have it.
That's his job is to pick out lies. Maybe he was just testing him.
It sounds like he wasn't figuring it out, Yeah,
so, we never did we get his side of like why he was doing that, or did we just get Mike's side?
Maybe we got his side of like why he's doing it, but as far as like where he landed, like, oh, he passed the test or oh, he didn't. We just got Mike's side saying like, I don't trust him at all. I don't like that
Yeah,
guy.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was a weird attempt to connect with Mike, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I don't
If
know.
it was.
That'd be interesting if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not feeling super good about my winner pick now, Katie,
Who
because
was your winner pick again?
Jessica, just because she was completely invisible as well, you know?
Well, she's not invisible next week. She's part of the predictable romance with Cole.
And that's even worse. I mean,
That
like,
is worse. That's
like
worse. Yeah,
Boston Rob and Amber, that's like a 1 in a million thing. Like
exactly.
the two people, the two young attractive people who hook up or have a relationship on the show are never going to win. I mean,
Right.
I don't think so.
More
Maybe
often you get a Taylor and Figgy than you get a Rob and Amber.
right. So I feel terrible about my winner pick now.
Dude, mine was Joe, and we just talked about how well he did. So we're not off to the good start here.
Yeah, I like Joe less now, but I do feel better about Joe than Jessica at this point because you got to have a winner needs like one confessional in the opening of the show or like one, you know, something. But she wasn't here.
You know who
So,
struck me as a potential winner after this episode?
Devin.
No.
Oh, I like Devin.
No, I do too.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain to you. I understand Wiggler now, like what he went through when meeting Devin. Like, you probably can't relate to this, but I just want to take his face and like this and just look at it. I don't know. There's something about him. That's it. There's just something about him, and if
He's very charming. Or he
Yeah.
has a charm about him. Yeah.
Yeah, and that
He's
comes
handsome.
through even through the TV screen. It comes through. But anyway, no, that's not. I mean, he could win. I'm just saying I got a vibe from this certain person that there could be a winner story here.
You didn't seem like you were super excited that this is a possibility, so I'm not sure who you're talking about.
I was high on this person in our cast assessment.
Okay. It's not Desi, is it?
No, she was also pretty invisible.
Yeah, she had a confessional, but it was like very nothing to
generic.
it. Generic. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, who is it?
Chrissy.
Yeah, you know, like I really see something there. I also feel really strong about like how good she was in this episode, like her gameplay, you know?
Yep. No, I think I see her going very, very deep into the game. And if she teams up with Ben, that would have a lot to do with it, I would think.
Yeah, that's going to be a strong
partnership.
A strong duo right there.
And something kind of unexpected. We've been saying, for some reason, all preseason, we've been saying, and other people have been saying, that they want to see a Denise and Malcolm. That could be it.
Ben and Chrissy?
I mean, Ben's not that old. Everybody thinks he's so old, but he's not.
But I mean, Malcolm was like 23, wasn't he, or something?
Okay, it's a little not as great of an age difference. What I'm saying is that two people you wouldn't maybe put together. That's the generic, template for a Denise and Malcolm.
Yeah, maybe. I can't see the Ben and Malcolm comparison really, but and it's more than just age.
I'm not saying they're the same. I'm saying it's like he and Chrissy are not someone you'd expect to get together.
Sure, if you wanna stretch for it, okay. If you really want to reach for it.
Okay, we'll find someone else to compare them to.
Yeah, we got to have a Malcolm Denise comparison every season.
Why has that been so persistent this season?
I don't know. Yeah, so Chrissy, definitely, totally agree with you there. Totally.
Yeah.
Any other happenings in the episode you want to talk about? Any characters we forgot to mention? I feel like we're not doing Ben justice, but I don't know what to say about him.
I mean, I liked how I think the episode wasn't really as forthcoming as it should have been on how tight Ben and Alan were. Like, those two were going to be together. Like, Ben wasn't going to abandon Alan.
Interesting. I didn't catch that.
Well, because Ben was saying me and Alan, or one of them was saying the two of us can either go with Chrissy and Katrina, or we can go with JP and Ashley. Like, they were the swing.
They did kind of in the confessional. They made themselves a pair. You're right.
And I think that's why Alan was safe when he, by all means, shouldn't have been.
Yeah. for sure.
Because he was with Ben. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just the vibe I got. Maybe I'm wrong.
could be. Yeah. Yeah, other characters we haven't talked about.
Uh,
Yeah, Cole. What about Cole?
he's a little more. No Devin. He's a little more. I don't know. He's fine.
He's fine. Like he's fine,
I
or he's
mean,
fine.
he's fine.
Okay, yeah,
He's okay.
he's fine.
Like he's incredibly strong. He probably had a lot. Everybody on that tribe is strong, though.
Except Mike.
Except Mike. Yeah.
I
I
can't
find it
imagine
interesting that Ryan was going to give the idol to Rourke if they lost. Is she considered an older woman? Because someone was saying there are 3 older blonde women, 3 younger blonde women, and I'm trying to think of who the 3rd older blonde woman is. How old is Rourke?
she's actually the same. She's the same age as Jessica and Desi. They're all the same age. They're all in like the 27 to 29.
Yeah.
I think Jessica might be 29 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're probably talking about Lauren. They were probably talking about Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren,
Yeah.
Chrissy, Katrina.
Yeah.
There
Those
you
are
go.
the 3 older women, even though Lauren's not the
Right.
old,
Yeah, Rourke is in the same spot as those other 2 on her tribe. It's really
right.
It's a weird tribe to have like just those 3 like very similar women, like just like
Yeah.
they didn't really mix it up on that one.
They really didn't, but that makes a lot of. That's why those women will probably stick together.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny when Rourke in the challenge, she's like barking out orders. She's like, do this, dude. Like balance it, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh no. She's like putting a target on her back as the bossy one. But then like it worked and they won.
Yeah.
That's doing exactly what she said.
Yeah. No, she knew what she was talking about.
Right.
And it was a good thing that they listened to her. So
yeah.
Exactly. But other than that, I don't have much to say about her. None of the women on that tribe got a lot of attention. It was mostly Mike and Joe.
Yeah, we didn't get to see much from Cole. I'm sure you're disappointed that he's going to be in a showmance next week.
It's just so we called that too. It's just so predictable that like keep it in your pants for 39 days. Just is that what you came here for? I mean, maybe for him it is, but that's stupid. If that's what you came here for, I'm not cheering for you.
Right. Yeah, to be fair, we don't know like how far they're going to take this.
Right.
For all
it's in the preview, so.
Yeah, for all we know, they're just talking about it. They're just like, I am attracted to this person. I feel like this would be somebody I would date outside of the game, but like I'm not going to let anything happen. We're just going to try to stay low key about this. That could be all it amounts to. We don't know.
Maybe. Anybody he hooks up with, though, is dumb because they'll be the targets. They'll definitely be the targets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's say you wanted to take out one of Cole or his lover. Which one do you go after first?
His lover.
Like the way they did with Figgy?
Well, they did get Figgy first. Yeah.
And
yeah, for
why
sure.
is that? Like, why don't you get out Cole first? Just to have him help you.
If you're still in the tribe mode of the game, you need Cole more. That's just all it is. But if they're still there in the individual portion, you get rid of Cole.
Yeah,
his lover can stay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she can stay and win the game. My winner pick. That's right.
Well, she'll be there next week, so don't be too concerned. Sarah Lucina, was she in last season's first episode? I don't think so.
Right.
Probably a little bit.
We didn't really talk too much about Ashley. What do you think about Ashley? She seems to be well liked, I guess.
Yeah. She seems to be fine. I don't have any problems with her. Like, what happened with her was completely not her fault. Craziness was thrust upon her. So I do agree with her a little bit for liking JP, but I mean, what are you going to do?
Once again, not to be too repetitive, but I agree with Alan that they need to break those two up, man. They are tight. They're super tight. Yeah. But he just went about it the wrong way. I'm not going to
cry if one of those two leave. I really won't.
Yeah, he just handled it wrong. And I won't cry either
to lose them. Really wrong.
Yeah,
We got to
any
do MVPs and predictions. Get back in the mode of swing of things.
for sure. Yeah, do you want me to start?
Sure.
My MVP is Chrissy.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you. She's got a winner edit going. To
Yeah.
go from puking to surviving the
That
vote.
puke was nasty. It was like
It
white and
was.
foaming.
I thought she was gonna like start bawling or something, and then she just blah.
Yeah. I thought it
Yeah.
was an emotional thing too. And then, but you know how being sick makes you emotional?
Sometimes being emotional makes you sick too.
Yeah. Or vice versa. Yeah.
Katrina was talking about how Chrissy got really nervous before the challenges. So
Oh,
I think
okay.
like the nerves and the adrenaline like all kind of added up and she got sick, you know?
I think that age thing is really weighing on her, you know?
Yeah, it
The
could
fact
be.
that, so I don't know, that probably played a part as well.
Now I'm questioning like should she have kept Katrina around? Because like keeping her around doesn't that mean you keep around the you have a kind of a buffer of the other mom, you know?
Well, you get rid of the other mom and suddenly you're not the mom squad anymore. You're Chrissy and you can
Yeah,
ingratiate yourself into the tribe as yourself.
right. Good point. Good point. Yeah, that the mom thing could be weighing on her. But ultimately, yeah, I just thought her not playing the idol was a really good decision. You
It
know,
was a
I'm
good
gonna
decision.
I'm gonna go back to what I originally said.
Nobody knows she has it. She can tell people I have the idol and they're not going to look for the real idol. And she can find that one too.
Yeah, so it was just really well played. A great tribal council. She's setting
Mhm.
herself up nice. She's the
Yeah.
MVP.
Okay. I'm going to go with Ryan, the other obvious MVP, because he just had a killer first episode. He formed an alliance with a beautiful man. He found an idol. He did good work with what he had to do with that idol. And he seems like he's really gelling with his tribe. So Ryan is my MVP.
Ryan. Yeah.
You.
What else were we gonna do? Predictions?
Prediction. Who's going to go next week?
Who's gonna go next? Are you still feeling like the hustler tribe's gonna fall apart, or where you at on that?
Well, they barely didn't lose. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe things will just be more even. Well, the healers would probably win everything, but between the heroes and the hustlers, maybe a little more even. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough call. I can never really decide which tribe I think is gonna lose because it is such a crapshoot. You
It
have no
really is.
idea. Yeah. I always pick the I
Yeah.
always pick the one that's like supposed to be the obvious tribe to lose, and it's never right.
Right. Well, I'll start. I'll go with the heroes will lose, and they will send home JP.
I like it.
I know because you hate JP and you want him to go home.
Yeah. I mean, I
He's
don't
your
hate him.
Simone.
I don't hate him. He's just like he's not my cup of tea.
No, it's fine. I mean, we don't hate any of these people.
Right. I want to emphasize that every time. I don't like using that
You
word.
throw
Like I
that
hate.
word around a lot. It's not what we mean.
Right.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think here. Hustlers. I think I'm gonna go with the Hustlers, and I just don't know who they're gonna get out over there. Maybe it'll just be like boom boom mom squad out the door. Lauren. Yeah.
Oh,
Let me go with Lauren.
yeah.
Because I mean, they did a similar thing with Katrina. Like we never got to see Katrina at all, and then she's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
It's like maybe they didn't want to have us invest in her at all if she's not going to be on the show. Maybe it's the same thing with Lauren. Like we're not going to invest anything in her because she's not going to be on the show for very long.
Maybe.
So I'll say Lauren.
Okay. I say JP. You say Lauren. That's the way it is.
That's the way it is. Is that it? Do we do anything else on these podcasts?
It was a really quick premiere. No, I think that's it.
You want to do power rankings?
Oh no, I'm not prepared for that.
I knew you'd bail.
Let's do it next week. I'll work on it this week after the next person's voted off. We can do them.
Okay, fair enough.
It'll be an even number then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. I want to say thanks very much for listening, and you can follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom, And please give us a thumbs up, a subscribe, or a comment. That would be cool.
A nice
and
comment.
we'll see you guys next week when we talk about episode 2 of season 35.
Triple H.
Triple H. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.
Bye.